I swear, like, I don't want to be doing these. I actually had some stuff I wanted to do today, but it's. I guess you guys get some bonus content, some bonus quality content. Zelensky and Trump, the fight continues. Apparently, and I take back any kind of semi-defense I said against in favor of Zelensky. Apparently, he went on Fox News after the meeting and raged. And then after he went on Fox News and raged, he went on like a Twitter meltdown. And yeah, I think he's fucked. I think whatever recovery he could have had, he's completely screwed. I also want to call out, and we'll get to this in a second, Lindsey Graham. For being, Lindsey Graham, he's going to get an F-slur nomination and a snake nomination. I hate Lindsey Graham. I think he's probably the most evil man in U.S. politics, and I know that's saying a lot because he is. I don't know if there's anyone who's more of a snake than Lindsey Graham. He's like a pro-Trump neocon or whatever. He's like a pro-Trump neocon who was like Zelensky's best friend, and now he's shitting on Zelensky. And like, even if he says something I agree with, to quote Dune, never trust a traitor, even one you create. You can't. Some people are just fucking scum, and he was the one who came up with this whole mineral deal thing along with Zelensky. Let's see here, Lindsey Graham. I'm trying to, maybe I'm spelling his name wrong. Yeah, Lindsey Graham. What a fucking scumbag. Okay, let's just watch this.
You don't trifle. I've never been more proud of President Trump for showing the American people and the world you don't trifle with this man. He was very positive. He was very upbeat. He wanted to get a ceasefire. He wants to end the war. And Zelensky felt like he needed to debate Trump in the Oval Office. JD was awesome. This was a missed opportunity. And the question for me, for the Ukrainian people, I don't know if Zelensky can ever get you to where you want to go with the United States. Either he dramatically changes or you need to get somebody new.
What a disgusting creature Lindsey Graham is. What a, like, he's like the epitome of the swamp in Washington. Once again, you can like Zelensky or dislike Zelensky, but this is the dude who went to bat for Zelensky, who appeared in all the cringy videos for him, who's been his greatest advocate, who brought out, he's like, him and Zelensky launched the whole mineral deal thing. And now it's slightly politically inconvenient because Trump goes and like felt Zelensky, and now he's just 100%. I don't know. I just have zero respect for that. Just as a man, as like someone with integrity, and I get it. I've changed my opinion a lot of times over the years. Lots of people do. Vance used to be anti-Trump, and now obviously he's not. But I don't have any respect for this 180 on a dime because it's slightly politically convenient. So I don't know if people want to agree with me or not, but that's just my take. It's probably one of those takes that's like a not really a take, but I anybody who's like Lindsey Graham is based now. No redemption for this guy. He's such a slime ball. He's such a slime ball, and you can never trust a traitor. Also, a traitor who just blatantly did it out of pure self-interest. No kind of ideological conviction. Okay. So Lindsey Graham said, hand-wringing Europeans who felt offended by Trump being rejected, be my guest to defend Ukraine from Putin. It's long past time. Well, isn't Lindsey Graham the guy who was talking about like how Trump was going to invade Canada, America and stuff like that? And it's just all these posts. I don't know. I know Lindsey Graham is no, he is kind of important. He's a senator. I just don't like that. I think it's just gross. Okay, so Zelensky immediately had a Twitter meltdown in the aftermath of this. So he went on and he posted a thank you to everybody, I think, except for Trump, at least initially. So we have him just going through like 50 different, like, look at this. This like passive aggressive, JD wanted to thank you, so I'm going to give him a thank you. Like, all this nonsense. Like, look at this. There must be like 30 of these. Now, to me, this is actually worse than what happened. I think to a certain extent Zelensky could have like apologized and said, "Look, things got out of control. I was very passionate. I was upset about the issue. I shouldn't have said what I said. I want to like reconcile with Trump. We can still talk this out or something." But like going on like a jilted ex-girlfriend and pulling this shit on Twitter is not cool. It's not cool with Trump. It's not cool with Vance. These people aren't like Biden. They're just not going to take it. Like, Vance is something I find fascinating about him is how well informed he is. Like, Vance knows all this stuff that like he's not supposed to know, and he brings it up. So that's not part of the media narrative. So you think Vance didn't see this and isn't angry about it? And then I think he realized he fucked up. Or maybe Bergoliev, or whatever his name is, told him, "Dude, this is going too far." So he said. So he finally thanked. He finally thanked Trump. I visited Ukraine House. Ukraine House. Okay, that's in. I'm grateful for the support during this difficult time. American people helped save. Okay, this is his like bad attempt at walking it back. We are truly thankful. We only want strong relations with America and hope we will have them. Let's see here. We are very grateful to the United States for all their support. So, one sec. I'm just going to grab some water and we'll go into the Fox interview. Just give me like 2 minutes. Thank you for your patience. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to grab some water. Oh, well, that's great. My headset just broke. Oh, well. I guess I'll just have to order a new one. Okay, so, what is there to talk about? Let's move on to the Fox News interview. And we'll see the how Zelensky expresses it. Another point I wanted to make. Another deal that no, the not the mute button, the what is it called, the headset, the like thing that holds the headset together. What was I saying again? Yeah, my friend Terrellian once said to me, Argent, with high T individuals, something that it does to men is it makes them both more aggressive and more agreeable. And I was just like, how does that even work? Is it like in JoJo where like defeat equals friendship? Like you have the two like high T guys, they beat the shit out of each other and then they're friends for life? And he's like, yes, that is exactly how it works. And I think that's kind of how it works with Trump. People get into arguments with him, they kind of fight each other, but ultimately they kind of come around and then they're bros. So I think Trump respects that, and I think like you deal with Trump by standing up to him but being respectful, and eventually I think you can work your way through it. I think Trump really hates like passive aggressive sniping, and just doesn't respect it, and he just smells blood in the water whenever something like that happens. So that's kind of my take on Trump. So let us go into the Fox interview. Because Trump does get along with people. Like, I don't know if it's entirely bullying, but he gets along with Modi really well. He gets along with Xi apparently decently well. He gets along with MBS. He gets along with a lot of people, but there needs to be, like, this aspect of mutual respect. And you have to not be a bitch. Because Trump doesn't like that. So this was Zelensky's damage control. Let's see if this was actually damage control.
Volodymyr Zelensky. Mr. President, thank you for the time today, especially on this day, to continue to do this interview. President Trump said after your meeting that you disrespected him and the vice.
He disrespected the Bing.
President and all of America in the Oval Office. Do you think you did, and do you think you owe an apology to President Trump?
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the invitation for this dialogue, and good evening to all your country, to all Americans. I'm very thankful to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support, and I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale invasion. You helped us to survive, anyway, we are strategic partners, and even in such tough dialogue. And I think we have to be very honest, and we have to be very direct to understand each other, because it's very, for us, very necessary to President Trump. And I'm with all respect that he wants to finish this war, but nobody wants to finish more than we. Because
finish war, but no one wants to. What is this word salad?
Because we in Ukraine, we are in this war. We are in this battle, and battle for freedom, for our lives. So I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is very important to stop Putin. And I heard from President Trump a lot of times that he will stop the war, and I hope he will, and we need to pressure him with Europe, with all the partners. And I think this dialogue had to be a little bit earlier to understand where we are. Like, I don't remember exactly, but like President Reagan said, that peace is not just an absent the war. Yes, we're speaking about just and lasting peace, about free.
Peace is not just an absence of the war, but lasting peace. Yeah, I don't even know, like, this is just kind of a word salad.
Freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and you know Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years, 10
Right.
years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect President and I respect American people. And if, I don't know, if, I think that we have to be very open and very honest. And I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things that where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians, and I think that is the most important thing. Yes, we are partners. You know, we are very close partners. We have to be fair. We have to be very free.
I'm told that you were told multiple times.
We have to be partners, we have to be fair, we have to be free. I mean, it's just like throwing a bunch of talking points out there without really addressing anything, which I guess is what people tend to do, but I don't think it works in this case.
From lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the White House to make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this. And this will be the first step to security guarantees, but it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversations, but we have to share it. You know, this is so sensitive. You know, just a ceasefire without security guarantees. This is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president.
Don't have any
of people who are.
We're just in full-on rambling mode at this point in time. So I don't really I don't have a ton to say. We're just throwing out the same kind of talking points. Zelensky, I find, is not very good during interviews, and I get that it's in English and it's not his first or even second language. But he just has these talking points he goes through, and over again he just kind of spits them out, which I get a lot of politicians do. But dude, this is full damage control. Well, no, this isn't even full damage control.
In this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side, and that America will stay with us, not with Russians, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step to security guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose them. They are good allies for the United States. The United States is the most or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe, and they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is I mean, this this is not good for both sides anyway. And I very open, but I can't, you know, change our Ukrainian attitude to Russian, and I don't want they are killers for us. You know, this is very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, they are enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No, I think so. What I think, Ukraine wants peace, and we will have anyway diplomacy. We will have negotiations. I only said that I think so. It's about just and lasting peace. It means that we have to be very strong at the table of negotiations. And at these negotiations, Ukraine and Russia, like sides of this war, have to be, and the United States and Europe. That's what I said. So
R. Bendit, if you want to know my opinions on the mineral deal, you can go check out the stream last night. It's actually the first segment. I read through the entire text of the mineral deal. Basically, it was this bizarre, surreal document, and I don't even really know what to say about it. It was one of the strangest things I've ever seen. You know what? We will go on a little field trip, and this is what I view the thing as. What is it again? I'm always kind of happy that I can use my real YouTube account and like weird shit doesn't pop up. Like we have Sopranos theories, animal videos, political stuff, and ambient music and stuff. There's nothing like super weird. What was I saying here? My offer. So this is what I think the deal was.
My offer is this. Nothing.
Is what I think of the mineral deal.
we are ready for peace, but we have to be in strong position. What does it mean? Just to know that our army is strong, that our partners with us, and that we have security guarantees. Am I not right?
Leaving the White House today, President Trump said this.
He's looking to go on and fight. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that.
What do you make of that? Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine. You saw it, Brad. You was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on. But I respect my soldiers and our people, our civilians who work and support our warriors. I can't say just stop. Nobody will stop because everybody afraid that Putin will come back tomorrow. We want just and lasting peace. It's true. We want security guarantees. We raised this topic about NATO the quickest way, but not all the countries are on this side. I said, okay, if not NATO, nobody is pushing. If not NATO, let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's
let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's the plan. So it makes sense to me.
My position. Europeans are ready to have contingents on our territory, boots on the ground. United States thinks maybe to help, maybe USA backstop, have to be just to guarantee that they are with Europeans. Look at Europe, it's strong, it became stronger, but they...
So the whole backstop thing, for those of you who aren't aware, so this is a gay op. I mean, this whole thing is one big gay op. But what they're trying to do is the Europeans, that is like Macron and Starmer, Kier Stormfront, and all those guys are trying to put together a peacekeeping force to send to Ukraine. And what they want is they want an American backstop. So they're going to put this peacekeeping force in Ukraine. And this peacekeeping force is going to, I don't know, be deployed along the front line. Let's see here. A peacekeeping force. And what they want is, sorry, I'm just thinking how to word it. They want the U.S. to basically guarantee them. Now, the Russians have said that if they send any peacekeeping forces in here, then they're going to view that as being a enemy combatants, and they will attack them. 1 second. Okay, sorry, was just sending in a warranty request from my headset. What was I saying again? Yeah, so they wanted to send in peacekeepers, and the idea was that the U.S. was going to guarantee them. So, in the case that they got attacked by the Russians, the U.S. would agree to come in and bail them out. And if not, they were going to do that, then they would at least provide air support. So this whole thing is a big gay up. Basically what they're trying to do is get the U.S. to commit to protect the peacekeeping forces that they know are going to be attacked by the Russians. So they're going to send bait in, and then if the Russians take the bait and their troops get shot at, then they will be able to use that as a justification for entering into the war. Sorry if that was not. It was just, it's trying to lure America into a conflict. It's really gay. It's really dumb. It's just not going to work. And Trump's not stupid, and Vance isn't stupid, and Rubio's not stupid. And they saw this for what it was. And I didn't really cover this, but when Starmer and Macron came in, they were trying to get him to commit to this stuff. They were trying, and Trump just basically gaslit them and pretended he was on their side. And they obviously came here there with the intention of let's see here. They came there with an intention of trying to get Trump up and working. To butter him up, to get him to commit to this deal beforehand, so they would be able to. So when Zelensky came, it would be a done deal. I think what they did is they told Zelensky that don't worry about it. We're going to have it done. You're not going to have to sign the mineral deal, or there's going to be a mineral deal, but the mineral deal is going to include security guarantees. And it'll be worth it. It's not whatever the art of the worst deal ever, which is what I like to call it. It'll work out, and they completely failed to do that. Because I think, in Europe, I think they think that Trump is retarded. I think they mistake him being aggressive and him being boisterous and kind of narcissistic for him being stupid. Trump is not a stupid man. He is a narcissist. He does say things that are very rash sometimes that he probably shouldn't. But even if Trump's not dumb, even if Trump was dumb, Vance isn't. I think you can say a lot of things about Vance, but I don't think you can say that Vance is stupid. You don't graduate from Yale Law and become a senator and become the VP if you're retarded or something. So that's, I think, one thing to just keep in mind.
They also want to have allies like the United States. That's what I said. I just want to understand what the peace. It's not my question, Brad. This is the question from all our people.
You mentioned when I traveled to the front lines with you last year to see the situation, to mark the anniversary of the war, and this is what you told me back then.
Will Ukrainians survive without Congress support? Of course, but not all of us. It will be tragedy for all of us, not only for Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, for all Europe.
Yeah. So the question today is, can Ukraine win this war?
I don't have them off the top of my head. I'd have to go back through my videos. I've talked about it in the past.
or hold off Russia without continued U.S. support?
It will be difficult for us. That's why I'm here. That's why we speak about the future negotiations. It will be difficult without your support, but we can't lose our values, our people. We can't lose our freedom. So a lot of people, Russians came to our territory, you know it. Russians came to our houses, and everybody knows, everybody saw it, video, images, a lot of things. They killed so many people. Just to forget it, just to say that Putin is a great guy? No, without us. We don't want it. That's why we speak about, you know, everybody remembered how it was the first days of the war, how they came. Nobody wants in Ukraine. Yes, of
Okay, when Trump, so things that Trump said that he shouldn't. Trump has a tendency to just make up numbers when he doesn't know the answer off the top of his head. Like, what was it? He said 60 million Russians or something died during World War II. And just a lot of the time, whenever he's given, like, he just makes something up off the top of his head. Also, just a lot of these initiatives, like the whole Gaza Riviera thing, like, did that just disappear? I don't know if this gold card, he just announces a lot of, like, things that never seem to turn out. And I just think some of the times when he's, like, insulting or humiliating people, it's probably not wise. I think he goes a bit too far with that. That's just off the top of my head. But, like, I could go back through his Truth Social and we could look at some stuff, but...
Of course, nobody will forget it, but nobody wants to have, again, new wave of occupation. That's why when we say, no NATO, what security guarantees can we have? And
as I've said, Trump, I think, is an intelligent person. Trump is ignorant on a lot of topics, though. And rather than do what most people would do and say, well, I'm going to have to look that up, or I don't have that in front of me, he'll just come up with something, and sometimes it's right and sometimes it's not right.
Not pushing, we are not pressuring, we're just asking, we're just sharing very clear messages to our friends, to Americans.
Right.
If you stay with us, thank you so much. But let's do the infrastructure of security guarantees. Let's just share with our people, just with our people, that America stay with us. That's great. We count on it. But just to share it and to say it, that's all.
How does the war end? How do you get to a deal? You're at a place right now where there is no deal. How do you get it back on track?
I think that Europe is ready for contingents and to help us with financing of big army, such big as we have now. This is our army, is the part of security guarantees. Now we want to just to find the place for our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how the United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees. And when we will be ready with this, we will come to diplomacy. To diplomacy, yes, with Russians, Europeans, United States, and we. Four of us, I think this is real way, because with weapon, it's too long, it's not enough. We don't have enough weapon to push them.
Like, so once again, this is just a rambling mess of different talking points. We need more weapons, we need security guarantees, Putin bad, Ukraine good, we're suffering, we're fighting the Putin. And you just have all this stuff together. Okay. Yeah, that kind of thing. So it's just kind of a massive mess.
Out, and we don't see now, for now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States, but with all respect again. So for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee. Really, when I say NATO, it's not about that we are focusing on this word. It's about very understandable infrastructure of security guarantees. And you see that no NATO countries for today, no NATO countries been under attacks.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of J.D. Vance, standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
Isn't this just like Caesar? Well, I don't want to compare Zelensky to Caesar, but this is just such a backstab. They're such a fucking, like, snake.
So he says you need to consider resigning. Is that on the table?
I don't know if he will be happy after my words. This decision can do only people of Ukraine.
You're not going to step down to do a peace deal.
No, I was always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for this such proposals. But anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that is.
Arbendit, if you want to go back to the beginning of the stream, I spent about 10 minutes going over it. He snaked on Zelensky like fully 100%.
It's enough for Ukraine, so I think I did all I had to do. And if somebody is not, this happy with me, okay. But between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsay, if I can say Lindsay, we know each other. Yes, and only Ukrainians.
Democrats have had the opposite reaction to the Oval Office meeting. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut posted this: "What just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America."
That's what it was. That was the plan. Putin orchestrated the whole thing. Putin was the one who came up. Putin wrote the script. Putin's a screenwriter.
His security. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy. What an embarrassment.
You mean like the democracy in Europe where they cancel elections in Romania over Twitter, what is it even called? I don't remember what it's called. That post, a TikTok post. So...
Do you think the confrontation in the Oval Office today was pre-planned, like Senator Murphy suggests?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think maybe?
I don't know. No. I don't. I don't know about it. I think no. I think it was just a really tough situation because we've been very open, very direct.
What set you off? What made you mad? Because they said.
Okay, let's just take a step back, and I think I brought this up numerous times, but I think later Gator's correct, and we should be talking about it again. What is the plan of Zelensky and Ukraine to win? So people have been saying, like, since Trump came to power, just shitting on him, saying, "Oh, he's going to surrender to Putin. Oh, it's Jover. He's the worst, he's scum," all this just really horrific stuff about how bad Trump is. But the question that I want to ask is, what is the alternative to talking to Putin and making concessions? I have not seen a single person actually like provide any kind of alternative. I've seen none. I haven't seen anybody like come up with anything like it. What is it? The basically the only thing they've come up with is America just fights Russia directly. We do some kind of gay op to get Russia to attack European soldiers, and that brings America in, and that is the only plan that I've heard. Akira says bro visited the Dems in Pennsylvania. Yes. Vance actually brought that up. I don't think the clip is there yet, but yes, Vance actually did bring that up. Let me see if I can find it actually.
Hey, I want to respond to this.
And now President Trump, and God bless now President Trump, 2014.
2014 and 2014.
Yes, but during 2014, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, and he did.
The American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front line.
Okay, we're just gonna take a look at this. But I mean, is that an unfair thing to say? I mean, once again, you can like Trump, you can hate Trump, you can be pro-Putin, you can be anti-Putin, but I haven't seen, other than Macron's attempt to trick America into a direct conflict, I have not seen a victory plan. I have not seen any realistic way to defeat Russia. They will say, oh, we're going to build more weapons, which they can't do. They've tried that. It didn't go anywhere. They'll never be able to outproduce Russia. There's sanctions that didn't work. Russia's economy is doing fine. It's not going to be destroyed anytime soon. They found other trading partners and stuff like that. What else is Trump supposed to do? Like Trump is basically just going, look, so watching the Duran, Alexander Mikura said that he's talked to people who know Trump, and that Trump is actually genuinely concerned about the deaths of so many Ukrainian soldiers and the killing and the conflict. So I think at this point in time, you can say what you want about Trump, but maybe he actually is a human being, is a real human being, and he doesn't like watching tens of thousands of young men die. Well, not just young men, but just men die in what he views as kind of a pointless conflict that shouldn't have happened. And I think maybe what he's saying is, look, there's no other way out of this. You're going to have to take the L, Zelensky, but what's left of your country can be saved. What's left of your country can be saved. And yeah. But once I don't even really know. Once again, people in the chat can tell me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of any way out of this other than just going to other than making concessions, and all it's going to do is just drag on longer. And I get it. I know people will say Russia is in the wrong, Russia's evil, Russia invade. It doesn't really matter who is wrong and who is right. To quote the theme of Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the fact that people are dying, and this is the only way out. So I'm not seeing anybody in the chat providing, and I'm not expecting you to. It's kind of a rhetorical question. So
I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems? What, bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful?
I will answer.
Okay, you're right, Torture Room. That is the other thing. Zelensky asked for nuclear weapons. That was the other plan that he came up with. Is that America or Britain give him nuclear weapons to threaten Russia with? That was the other plan.
To come to the Oval Office of the United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know.
It's such a dumb. Why is he saying that? Why does he have to add in the smarky? Oh, you have an ocean. It's on the future. He could have just said something yeah, it's a bloody, brutal war, and we're having the country is having to make sacrifices, and those sacrifices aren't pretty. He didn't have to start going into that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You
Don't-
will not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting.
I think that's kind of a bitch move from JD, but this led to the meltdown where Zelensky, and we'll just go over this again, went on Twitter and thanked literally everybody other than Trump and Vance. Another thing that somebody pointed out about this is Zelensky called Vance JD, which I don't know if he has permission to call him that. Trump can do that because he's like close with Vance and he's close with like Rubio and stuff like that, and he's their boss. But it's kind of weird.
Said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Okay, that's Vance. Vance is just like, it's over. He's like, yeah, well, you tried to screw us and now you're coming back and you're asking for money? Well, fuck you. When it comes to the naval argument, so it's a little more complicated than that. I mean, obviously the U.S. has a much bigger navy. Russia does have hypersonic missiles, hypersonic anti-ship missiles, which cannot be intercepted. Also, Russia does have submarines. I think they have a fair number of them, and submarines can destroy carriers and other large ships. Actually, they're building a nuclear-powered torpedo that has unlimited range, so it can be launched anywhere in the world, which I think is kind of cool. But somebody pointed out that if there was some sort of war between Russia and Europe, Europe is entirely dependent upon energy imports. So Russia could start firing hypersonic missiles at oil tankers or other ships, and they could cripple Europe in terms of that. So let's go back and look at this again.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of
you're
America
speaking about.
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I...
You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks.
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
That was like not something Zelensky should have said.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment.
You
and you've
voted
met
for
our
You voted for your president.
brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if,
West?
if you didn't
You
have our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
To say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that
thank
there-
you
except
to
that-
America.
Okay, so yeah, it's rough. No, AT and I'm saying that like Russia does not have a good like navy for power projection. I'm just saying they do have options. It's not as if they have nothing that they can do if they get into a tussle with the U.S. So with regards to the amount of money given to Ukraine, so I'm just going to take a step back for a minute. So this has been discussed a lot. So the amount of money that's been given to Ukraine is I'm just trying to think of how to put this, is difficult to quantify. So it depends what you count as aid. So if we're just counting military aid, that's like $80 million or whatever. If we're counting military aid plus financial aid, then that goes up substantially higher because they were basically paying all the salaries and pensions of the Ukrainian government. If you want to go further, what about the cost of all the CIA, the satellites? I don't know if they include the shipping cost to get this stuff overseas. There's the replacement cost. There's a lot of aspects of this that I think does cost a substantial amount of money that is included. Also, and I forget his name in UK tried to run up the actual costs of the war, and he included how much additional money the UK government had to spend on heating subsidies in his estimate of how the war went, of the cost of the war, the UK government. So if you start adding that, is that included? Whatever extra money, is Germany's higher energy prices included in their costs of supporting the war? I don't think it is, but it does get very high if you start adding that stuff together. I don't know if that's fair or not, but I'm just saying the actual economic cost of supporting Ukraine in this war is substantially higher than whatever the whatever the sticker label is.
Your tenor and tone
it's not about mad. It's not, Brad. You see, how to say, when you are in the United States, and for example, president or vice president or somebody or senators, it doesn't matter, big politicians, yes, when they, for example, say that Ukraine is almost destroyed, that our soldiers run away, that they are not heroes, that Ukraine lost millions of civilians, that
well, I mean, according to the UN, it's 16,000.
President is dictator, you know? What is the reaction? It's not about me. The reaction is that where is our friendship between Ukraine and the United States? That's it. This is filling, and that's why I do not want to lose our great partners at the United States. And I just said,
I don't think Trump has ever said anything about the Ukrainian soldiers. I think he said that they're fucked because they're fighting a massive, superior force. As I've said, and I've said this consistently, and I don't know if this is me trying to be fair or me trying to show that whatever my biases has a limit. The Ukrainian soldiers have had to put up with so much shit from this dude, from Biden, from Blinken, and they have done more than could possibly be expected with them. Let's look at what they've had to face. They've had to face Blinken, Biden, and Zelensky giving them orders. They've had to deal with the fact that they've been given this mishmash of equipment they haven't been trained with. Keep that in mind. All these different tanks and weapons and stuff have different spare parts. They have different quirks to them. And the Ukrainian army was asked to figure all this shit out on the fly and maintain separate logistical chains for 20 different systems. They're fighting this war with no air force. With depending on, this is from the Ukrainian, I think this is from Zelenskyy, a 6 to 8 to 1 artillery advantage, a basically infinite long range missile advantage, and they've held on for 3 years. Now, what I've heard, the rational reason why Zelensky never withdraws from locations is because morale is so bad that the troops will just scatter and run away. They have the drone air force. The drone air force is a match for the glide bombs.
That it's not the first time. I said it by phone, and we had some other conversations, and we had in Munich meetings, and I said, please be correct. I want to be very polite. I mean this, be correct with this number. When you say about the number, each person is important. When you say about 1 million of losses, we don't have any million of losses. When you speak about the territories, maybe some territories and etc., it's not just territory, it's houses. It's people's lives, you know, their fathers, mother, their relatives, grandfather, they died or during this war. Nobody wants to forgive Putin. It's not funny or fairy tale. This is real life. That's what I said. And when you said it, a lot of times to my big friends who've been here today in our dialogue, and then they again begin to repeat the same things, I think it's not. I mean, that's why I said it's not good way between partners, good partners and friends. That's it. And I think that if journalists asking questions to president, with all respect to vice president, I mean, he has his interview.
Mr.
This is
shouldn't
dialogue.
Shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this, be behind closed doors, not?
Of course. And
so do you regret that? Are you regretting that happened today?
Regretting? Yes, I think it was not good. I think it was not good because we had a lot of different dialogues. I'm always open to media, but there are very sensitive things. I just want to be honest, and I just want our partners to understand the situation correctly, and I want to understand everything correctly. That's about us. Not to lose our friendship.
A couple more things. What are the next steps in your mind?
Sorry, just an interruption, but I was thinking the other day, there is a non-zero chance that if you tweeted to Elon Musk that the U.S. should build Metal Gear, that he would make it happen. There's a non-zero chance of that. That you could tweet Elon Musk. Elon Musk would be like autistically going, "That would be awesome. We need to build a nuclear-powered bipedal tank," and that would happen.
Here we are today.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
I think so. United States wanted this deal very much, and we've been not against this deal, but we wanted to understand what part in security guarantees will take this deal and what next steps.
The deal
just again to understand for our people. During the war, what you don't like, even sometimes hate, surprises. It's understandable. Many terrible things this war brought to us. So we don't want any surprises. Yes, that's why we want to be very fair with our partners. And I think this deal, it was prepared by teams. It was not simple during weeks. And now it's ready. I think that they have to sign. The countries have to sign. The ministers have to sign. That's it. I don't know when they will do it. It depends on the American side.
So
exactly.
the minerals deal didn't.
Well, I mean, in Zelensky's defense, he's a very allegorical guy.
Not have security guarantees listed in it.
It's a part.
The security guarantees?
This is the part in the infrastructure of security guarantees. Because, for example, President Trump shared that. I think so that if we will be there in some productions and etc. in minerals, that Putin will never come on this territory where we are. And I said to him, don't trust Putin. Why? I said, because it's not, I mean, we respect and we believe in strongness of the United States, but I said to him that we had more than 20 companies, American companies, big companies on the territory of Ukraine. Companies? And we had offices, even on temporary occupied territories. For Putin, it doesn't matter. It's American, European company or Ukraine.
Like, what the fuck is this? It's just, like, okay. I think what's important, and I'm not like an expert in communication or whatever, but I think Zelensky's problem is he just jumps all over the place. He doesn't stay on topic. He doesn't stay with messaging. He just has these talking points that he's trying to get out as soon as possible.
Doesn't matter. He just came and occupied it. That's what I said. I think this is a great idea, how to strengthen Ukraine and how to make business between two countries, how to make additional jobs for two countries. But it's not just these will not save us.
I read what the Democratic senator said, that Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Do you agree with that President Trump is too close to Vladimir Putin in your mind?
We spoke about it, and I think today very openly President Trump, he said that I want to be in the middle, otherwise I will not put these guys at the table.
And is he right?
I want to be very honest, I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why. Because it's not just that the war began somewhere between our countries. The war began when Russia brought this war to our country, and they are not right. And they are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our houses.
Like Zelensky, it doesn't matter. I get that you're upset. I get that. I get that Russia and Putin could be, even if Putin was Putler, like, there's no way for you to win this. So either you take the L and you try to salvage what's left of the situation, or you just fight to the death to prove some kind of point. And maybe that's cruel, maybe that's like not fair, but I mean, life isn't fair sometimes, and I hate saying that, but there's nothing like anyone can do short of going to war directly, and America has no reason to do that. It would be a massive waste of time. It would start World War III, and like it's I'm sorry, dude. You're gonna have to give up the territory and do what Russia wants you to do, or just drag it on. But it doesn't, like, at this point in time, the manpower issues that they're facing, it doesn't really matter how much money and weapons the U.S. gives them. Now that will drag the war on longer, but Ukraine doesn't have any strategic mobility anymore. What strategic reserves they had left got destroyed at Avdiivka. The troops they send into Kursk are not reserves. They're people who they pulled off of other front lines. Ukraine has no reserves. It has no capacity for launching large-scale offensives. Kursk was just them rolling into like some unoccupied like forest area in Russia, and it's over, man. I'm sorry.
And they're not right. And of course, all the Ukrainians want to hear strong position of the United States on our side. From one side, it's understandable. From another side, he wants to find some way of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong, United States strong, two parties together in this question, two parties always together against Russia. You're very strong to do strong steps against Putin.
Americans are worried about where the money has gone.
Yeah.
Will there be a very rigorous accounting of where the money has gone? It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold.
Does anyone remember when Zelensky said $100 billion disappeared? Like, that's not, once again, like, a lot of the things I say that sound crazy are like stuff that he said. Like people said. Okay, so I forget where it was, but Zelensky did say, and you can look it up, $100 billion disappeared. Okay. Where is the missing? This is Center for Strategic Studies. Zelensky said $100 billion of it just never like showed up. It just went away. It just disappeared.
Military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we've got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No, but like, okay, so Zelensky says here they received $75 billion from the U.S. out of $175 billion, and now he's saying that they received $100 billion from the U.S. So neither of those is really close. So it just keeps like, it's like they received $6 million from the U.S. The number keeps changing.
Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes, but we have, in fact, because 67 came like a weapon. It came through the border. It's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with the American side. And 31.5, it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open. It digitalized. It's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very, very open with it.
No, you don't want. Let's just take a look at this. Let's see where Ukraine is on the corruption perception index. Ukraine is ranked 116. I think that is like a lie, and that they just for political reasons put it lower. But even assuming that this map is right, yeah, Ukraine's pretty high on that corruption list.
Last thing, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be? Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important.
I'll say this for Ukraine, as I've said in the past, I am, as a Canadian, willing to accept an unlimited number of Ukrainian refugees. If the entire population of Ukraine wants to move to Canada and turn it into like a neo-Nazi Ukrainian ethno state, I would be in favor of that. It would be a way of helping Canada deal with its current issues. I'm okay with that. They can all move here. Or we could go with the Silvio Berlusconi. Well, maybe we'll end with that, with a moment of Zen. Silvio Berlusconi, only the hot women. This is what Silvio Berlusconi said: "Immigrants not welcome, but the beautiful girls can stay." That is the Silvio Berlusconi immigration policy. We can have immigrants so long as they're hot women, which I don't know if anyone could really object to that. I miss Silvio. Silvio was a scumbag, don't get me wrong, but he was a scumbag in a very charming way. Maybe just the fact that he was so blatantly heterosexual. I don't know. Anyways, everybody, God bless.